It was a guys, movie Maniac here. So, the Hobbit The Desolation of Smaug is finally out. Okay, now, I'm just gonna do something here. I know that most of you guys don't want to hear me do this, but I'm going to do an absolute spoiler alert with this video. And I am going to make no spoiler-free video because I'm a little bit too lazy to do the spoiler-free. So, if you want to hear my opinion without spoiling, I'll say this. Hobbit The Desolation of Smaug is amazing. I love this movie. It's so good. I mean, there's a lot of great moments. It was so memorable, and the villain Smaug is amazing. There's a lot of cool moments. And I thought Legolas was a pointless character to like force in, but no, he was so badass in this movie. I loved him. Martin Freeman was amazing. He was cool. He was fantastic. I mean, I loved him. He is so good in this one. He was better than he was in the first Hobbit. It's just awesome. So yeah, that's all I'm gonna have to say for this spoiler free. I will give this rating an actually my only problem is the ending, which I will not give it away for you. No. That's unless if you want to hear me spoil it for him. So yeah. So, my rating for this movie is an A solid plus. Such a good movie. Now I got 3 favorites this year. Star Trek Into Darkness, Pacific Rim, and Hobbit The Desolation of Smaug. And finally, this Hobbit movie is actually as good as the Lord of the Rings movies. Finally. Finally. So yeah. So there's my spoiler free. Now let's get into spoilers. So this is where you can stop if you don't want to hear me spoil. But if you've seen the movie or you don't care, then you're welcome to stay. So, it's amazing. I love it. It's just, it starts off like, I don't know, it just starts off awesome. I mean, the only main things I really just want to spoil and talk about here is the ending, the epic climax, Smaug, Barrowin, Legolas, and the barrel scene. But let's first talk about the barrel scene. The barrel scene. Oh my gosh. I thought the barrel scene was just going to be that could have been cool if it was a ride, but no, it was so memorable. It was really, really awesome. I mean, the dwarves were in their barrels and they're just like floating. They're just like floating off into the river, and there's all these orcs just like trying to shoot them down and all that stuff. And then the chick from Lost, the elf chick, and Legolas comes in to like slice all of them. It was so cool. You see like an orc that's like hanging there pinned to like a log like this, dead. Like, that is so cool. And then there's this one moment that was so, man. There's actually a lot of moments in that scene. It's just so completely awesome. It was so memorable. I love it, love it, love it. The barrel scene, it's just so cool. I love it. The scene is just awesome. So yeah, and then when we get to, actually another thing I really want to talk about is Legolas. Legolas is such a badass in this movie. Just like as he was in the, I was about to say Star Wars prequels, that was kind of weird, but as the Lord of the Rings movies, he's so awesome. I mean, he's a little bit more serious in this one, but he's still pretty cool though. Although my only problem with this Legolas is that he does look a bit older, but I want to blame that because all the other actors from the other actors from the old cast of Lord of the Rings does look a bit older, but still, Legolas is awesome. And then there's the chick from Lost, which I forgot her character's name, and I forgot the actress's name. But here's the picture. She is awesome. I mean, she's such a good, not only she's, actually, I'll admit, she's actually pretty hot. I'm not gonna lie. But not only she's hot, but she's also a good character. Like, she gives out, like a lot of good lines and all that stuff. Like, you will hear lines from the trailers. That's, like, one of my favorite lines, when she's like,
"When did we allow evil to become stronger than us?
It is not our fight.
It is our fight."
She really does so well with the character. She was just awesome. Even though she was just forced in just because Orlando Bloom is in it for Legolas, but still, it didn't felt like it was forced. It felt like it was really interesting, and I really like it. And plus, Legolas's dad, the King of Elves, is such a douchebag. I mean, he's just like,
I offer you my help.
But then Thor and Orcus Shield was just like, bull crap. You're just gonna betray us all just like that. And then they just get sent down to prison, which then Martin Freeman, Bilbo Baggins, just like go use the ring and goes in there and just unlock their doors. Actually, that's the thing. Martin Freeman, Bilbo Baggins is so much better in this movie than the last one because it shows how much he's a burglar. Like, you see the spider scenes and everything. He uses the ring like almost all the time, and like he goes like. It's so cool when he puts on the ring and he looks at the spiders, and the spiders can actually talk English. Like, he can actually understand what they're saying. Like, they're talking about eating the dwarves. That is so cool. I mean, man, Bilbo Baggins in this movie just rocks. He's such a badass. I love him. Also, another thing I like about the movie, Gandalf, he's still awesome. Although I'm a little bit disappointed that he's not with the crew, but that doesn't really distract me. But he goes off in his own side mission, and it's just so cool. He comes up to the Necromancer, which he's voiced by Benedict Cumberbatch, but we'll get to that later. He faces the Necromancer, and that was such a cool moment where, like, there's this fire thing that, like, shaping the eye, and it's Sauron's eye, and you can see it inside the eye. It's Sauron. Yeah, in case if you didn't know, Necromancer is Sauron. Even I knew that before the movie came out, but still. Sauron is just so cool. It's just so awesome. Yeah, Sauron is just so cool in this movie. Literally, he is. I mean, you know, he was like pinning Gandalf into the wall. Like, he was in this little cage at the end while the orc army is just preparing for war, and you know, all that stuff. I'm just like, Although I'm not sure how it ties in with the Lord of the Rings, because like, well, in the Lord of the Rings, he's like, oh, I don't remember Sauron. Let me look him up or something like that. I don't know. I watched a spoiler review for Jeremy Johns. If you watch that, he actually made a good point that how they're gonna tie that in with the Lord of the Rings, because like, Gandalf would actually remember the Necromancer and Sauron, but he wouldn't just be like, oh, wow, I haven't... Here, let me look it up. I mean, yeah, he makes a really good point. Something like that, yeah. What else do I like? There's so many things. Borin, I think that's his name. This guy, he is awesome. I mean, he's so cool. He's like he's like everybody's favorite, and I don't know, it's so cool. I don't know, he's just such a cool character. He reminds me of Legolas if he had like not blonde hair, and he's not an elf in this one, but he's still so cool though. He's such an interesting character, and I love that scene where like he tries, like I love the scene where he figures out who Thorin is and what he's really going for, and then he's just like, nope, you're not going to that mountain. No, just no. You're not gonna wake up that dragon. No.
If you awaken that beast, you will destroy us all. You have no right to enter that mountain. I have the only right. Dragon fire and ruin. That is what you will bring upon us. He cannot see beyond his own desire.
I think that's like all the awesomeness had to say for that, but then finally it's the end. That's the best part. Smaug the dragon. He is amazing. I mean, Darth Vader, Wicked Witch of the West, and, you know, classic villains. Smaug just, like, got on the list. Smaug is, like, one of the best villains of all Lord of the Rings ever. I mean, he's, like, much better than Sauron. I mean, I'm sorry. I'm going there. Smaug is just amazing. Not only he looks fantastic. I mean, he really does look like a dragon. Even he's enormous. I mean, bigger than Bolt. I can't remember that one creature's name from Fellowship of the Ring, but he's like has the fire rep. I think it starts with a B, Bulma or something. I don't know, but like he's bigger than that. Just like compared to size, he's huge. He's just huge, big and huge. And you know, I love those scenes. I love that scene where like Bilbo was just like going against Smaug, and he's like, oh no, oh great one, you know, I'm crapping my pants right now because that's one big giant dragon. Yeah, seriously though, and the voice, Benedict Cumberbatch is now my favorite actor. I'm not kidding, he really is. I mean, Sherlock Holmes from BBC Sherlock, Khan from Star Trek Into Darkness, and Smaug, Hobbit The Desolation of Smaug. He's my favorite actor now. He is so good. It's his voice. His voice is just deep. It's dark and it's just so cool. His voice is just awesome. I loved his voice. It was so cool to listen to.
Thief, where are you? Come now, don't be shy. Step into the light.
Benedict Cumberbatch is so good, especially with his voice. The voice is just so creepy. And I love the design of the dragon. Like, I hated the Hobbit The Desolation of Smaug with their marketing, because they don't show Smaug. I'm like, ugh, when do we get to see him? I mean, you do see his face from the very first trailer, but he doesn't really look like it that much. They changed him up a bit. And let's just say he just looks entirely amazing. Just awesome. So yeah, Smaug is amazing. He's like up there my favorite villains now. He's just so cool. I mean, I'll admit, he's better than Sauron. I mean, Sauron is a classic villain of the Lord of the Rings, but between him and Smaug, just all the way, Smaug is just awesome. So yeah. And finally, the ending. Now, some of you asked, like, why do I hate the ending? Well, if you already know, it's when Smaug was like covered in like hot melting gold, and then like he escapes out of Elbor's kingdom, and then he's gonna head over to Lake Town. He's like, I am fire, I am death, and then he goes there, and then Bilbo's like, what have I done? And then cuts to black right there. No, they can't. I was really pissed off right there. I mean, I haven't been pissed off at a movie theater for like 2 years since like the new Clash of Titans. I've never felt this way. Like, I am so pissed off. I mean, I love cliffhangers, they're classic, but at the same time, I hate them because you gotta wait for another year for the next movie. I mean, like for example, here's a spoiler review for Catch a Fire. If you've never seen Catch a Fire, pull up gears right now. That scene where like they show the cliffhanger with Katniss and then Gale was just like, they wiped out District 12. And then, it just stops right there. I think that's a perfect cliffhanger because they'll be like the beginning of the movie. But instead, they cut it just right. I felt like they just cut it right in the middle of the scene. It was where Smaug goes to Lake Town, and then like Boromir gets his black spear thing, and they shoots it at Smaug, and he like dies and all that stuff. But it just cuts right there. Oh, that pisses me off. I gotta wait for another movie. I mean, I never felt like that way for cliffhanger. Usually I wouldn't mind. But for a scene like that, that's so interesting, that gets me diving in. It's just, it pisses me off. Screw you, Peter Jackson. Now we gotta wait for another movie. Why can't this movie be in 2 parts? I mean, screw the trilogy. Just do 2 parts. Or make the movie 3 hours. I don't care if it's 3 hours long. Return of the King did it, so why not this? I hate cliffhangers now. They're just so annoying. Because then you gotta wait for the next one. Yeah. Smart moves, Jackson. I hate you. Forever. But I still love the Lord of the Rings movies, and I'm really, really excited for Hobbit and they're back again. So yeah, overall, I love the movie. It's great, amazing. I hate the fact I have to wait for another one, but still, the movie was really, really good. When it comes out to Blu-ray, I'm going to get that and get that extended edition. I think it's going to be really amazing. So, yeah, I would give it an A solid plus. Such a good movie. So, Miles and Christianus, what do you think of Hobbit The Desolation of Smaug? And it's okay, you can spoil things down in the comments, since this is a spoiler review. Comment down below, check out my other videos, they're really cool. Like and subscribe, like my page on Facebook, email me what movie I should do. See ya.